me. Here we go.
Mm.
Here we go. So good to see you guys. Feels like it's been longer than a week.
A little bit. Yeah.
Not for
That's
me because I
wrong.
just listened to the session 4 about 3 hours
Okay,
ago.
there
So
you
I feel
go.
like I just saw you all.
Oh, I love it. Ron is our timekeeper. You will see why, Tracy. Oh, you've probably seen it already in the recorded.
Right. We just missed the announcement, but 4:30 will be
Oh,
announced.
yeah. So, for if anyone's forgets
It's
what
every 30
time
minutes.
California time is, Ron will remind us constantly.
Yes, it is on California time, correct.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
That
Did you guys see the little ritual thing that I sent you?
I did.
Some people are like, are
You
the
send it today?
I put it on the chat. Are the pyromaniacs excited? Wait.
Pyromaniacs?
Well, when you light things on fire, pyromaniacs, the ones that like to light things on fire.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see
Oh,
it though. I didn't watch it.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
That's why I
okay.
wasn't sure. But
Well, you're missing out, but I'll talk a little bit about it.
I
Hi,
was
everybody.
slammed at work today, so this is
Hi,
my first time getting home.
Good. Hi, Maritza. Hi, Adrian. Hi, Joylan.
Hey, everyone.
Hi,
Hi,
Zoom.
George.
Hey, there's a Zoom person. I don't know. What's up?
What's up? What's up? Interrupting here. The
It's
guy that took the
Practicing.
last and got you guys an extra 30 minutes. You're welcome, okay? You're very welcome.
I
You're only
love
here for
that.
30 minutes? Okay, well, you'll watch the replay. Okay. Everyone's having a good week?
it just started.
No, but today felt
That's good.
a lot.
Yeah.
Today felt really long for me. I'm just okay. Laura Fresh from Cancun. Well, was it amazing?
Yes.
Everyone loved you. Everyone was raving about
Oh,
you. I got all the
oh,
reports.
oh.
Laura
Thank
just did
you.
her no, it's not
Yeah,
uh
you volunteered?
yeah,
Yeah.
I yeah, I was there.
Heather
I saw
was there.
you helped me on the beach.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
You
I
God.
you
didn't
guys didn't
realize
even
that
say hi
was
to each
you.
other.
I didn't realize that I didn't make the connection.
I
I
didn't
didn't
either until
realize that.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi.
Wow.
All right, all right. So, in case you guys didn't know, some of us, we're gonna go till 8:30 per popular request. It's optional, but I would love to see you guys stay as much as you can. We're gonna try this out and see how it goes. Um, but as always, let's do a little heart centering before starting our session today. If you could sit up straight in your chair, or Tracy, up against the wall. No, just be comfortable. Be comfortable. Awesome, awesome. And I now would love for everyone to just close your eyes, take one breath, and I want you to feel your legs. Put your hands on your legs and just feel your grounding, right? Feel your feet on the floor, on this floor that's holding space for you. Mother Earth that always has your back. And as you feel your feet on the ground, I want you to start feeling the energy that's coming from the earth, that's coming up your legs, up your torso, up your spine, down your arms. Feel it and see it like fire. Not like a burning fire, but like warmth. Now see and feel it going up your neck, into your head, and into the sky. And feel a clear path connection between the earth and the sky. And you're basically the conduit, as we all are, right? We're the conduit of energy between earth and sky. Now feel that energy through your body. And let's take 3 deep breaths in through our nose and out through our mouth. Now feel that beautiful energy, that warmth energy of life in the middle of your heart. And start feeling that energy growing out of your heart into the rest of your body, into every cell, healing every cell of your body, healing every organ, creating love, creating peace. Now feel that beautiful energy leaving your body, going into your rooms, creating a beautiful, safe space of love, of coherence. Now that beautiful energy now goes into your cities and it creates peace in your city, creates harmony, brotherhood, sisterhood. Now I want you to see that and feel that energy going into the state that you're in, California for Ron. This beautiful energy now goes into our country, creating love and unity in our country, empathy, understanding, and compassion. On this energy now, feel it going into the planet, creating love in the planet, creating joy, creating peace. And now feel and see this energy go into the universe, creating order in the universe and all the planets, with the moon, with everything. And now feel this beautiful energy now come back to your heart and feel it right in the center of your heart, grounding you, loving you, taking care of you every single day of your life, every step of the way. You're taken care of. And as you're feeling this light, I also want you to just shake off the day, knowing that you did the best that you could, and that you're loved and that you're cared for, and your effort today was exactly what it was supposed to be. And as we're shedding the year of the snake, and we're stepping into the year of the horse, I want you to think back on what you want to let go of. Maybe ways of beings, things that are not serving you anymore. And I also want you to consider that old skin that we're shedding, right? As we complete the year of the snake today, I want you to also think that we are so lucky to have had that skin because that skin helped us and did its service and it served its purpose. But now it's just time to shed it and to step into a new year, new possibilities, new love, new opportunities, new ways of having perspective and seeing the world, loving the world, knowing that even though we'll probably never understand it fully, we can still agree to disagree. And if the world doesn't agree to disagree, then we can agree to disagree. And therefore, we can be the teacher that steps into the room that can start the dialogue. And once you do that, then the other side has a shot because the example has walked in. Okay, now I want us to take 3 deep breaths again, in through your nose, out through your mouth. 1, 2. Now feeling your body with your hands, feeling that warmth. Slowly, very slowly, open your eyes.
Great.
All right. Tonight you guys got the long version. I got inspired. So I wanted to start this session. I want to hear some wins. And wins could have a huge, just, spectrum. So anything that you guys feel like sharing, we would love to hear since we're in this community. Hi, Suzanne. I'm sorry. We were in the middle of hypnosis. But I would love to hear how you guys are doing so we can all start relating to each other and tuning in. So who wants to go first?
No, okay.
Maritza?
Yes. Hi everyone. So just really making wonderful strides in my grief healing, losing, uh, not losing, but I guess my divorce of 24 years, adjusting to being a co-parent. So I keep seeing 2025 further back in the rearview mirror, and I keep seeing myself getting to that beautiful light, feeling, meditation thanks to your book and uh, I've never been able to meditate, and I still do the guided meditation because it's hard for me to calm myself because I'm just always going. And so I'm doing the guided meditation, but I'm able to calm a little bit of the hamster, and just grateful, for my Monday, come together with everybody, and just very feeling much lighter from a very dark place that I was, uh, just even in January.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was really beautiful.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Thank you, Lena. Thank you, Laura. Ah,
Hearts all around.
I can go if no one else wants to go.
Laura, take us there.
So thank you. I've missed you guys the past few weeks. As Jorge mentioned, I had the opportunity to volunteer at Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat in Cancun, and it was so incredible. And I just realizing now that Heather was there as well. I didn't have a chance to really keep up on all the chats while I was there because there was a lot of Telegram chats I had to keep up on for all the duties and everything. But I was very mindful of the no complaining and not engaging like in gossip, and um just I really feel like, I just have so much gratitude for Jorge and the book and this opportunity to, apply everything that I've learned during that week, because there were times where there was complaining and there were, some conversations, gossip, and I just decided to be more aware, to, try to, what is the word? Like, what response? I'm hearing you. Or maybe just sitting there, like, listening.
You can spice it up and you can go, wow, unbelievable. No way. So there's alternatives
Yeah.
if you want to get
Yes.
really sassy.
Yes, exactly. So I have so much gratitude just for that opportunity and to be able to, apply everything that I'm learning into real life and for this group. And I'm happy to be back here in person, being able to, not in person, but, as close as we can get in person. So, yes, and so grateful that I had the opportunity to be there for Heather, um, like she mentioned on the beach. So, yeah, just a whole lot of gratitude and love, and just, yeah, very, very thankful. So.
How was it for the people that haven't gone to those retreats, right? Because whenever I step into the volunteer shoes and we see so many people that go with neurological diseases and incapacitated in some way, like what does that do for you?
So, to be perfectly honest, because I am a registered nurse and my, intuition wants me to help in that capacity, but we're instructed to follow the protocol, and so there's a little bit of a tug, like to want to do more, but knowing, to keep within my scope in terms of like the volunteer
Yeah.
role. So that was it was interesting because I know that some people who have, like, from Dr. Joe's Inner Health Coalition, the healthcare providers, have gone, and since they weren't able to fully be in their scope, like as a healthcare provider in that volunteer setting, they didn't enjoy it as much, which I can see. But I feel like for me, even though I wasn't working in the, role capacity of a registered nurse, clinically per se, I still felt like I was able to be there, you know, as a volunteer and do what I could in that capacity, but I just feel like it enhanced the experience to the next level, if that makes sense. Like I felt like my meditations were deeper, and just being able to be available for the participants to support them. And it was just a really great opportunity to be, able to be there to answer their questions. But also, like, the first day was, it was challenging in different ways and different days. Because the first day I was there welcoming all, like, 2,000 participants and going back and forth between Spanish and English and each participant. So it was just like mentally so stimulating, but an incredible opportunity to meet all these people from all over the world. And yeah, use my Spanish, and so um yeah, it was, I don't know how else to describe it, just so special and such an honor to be able to serve in that role.
Good. I feel that you're bringing that energy here. So thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. I missed the 2 weeks, here on the calls, but I was there in spirit, and I'm glad to be back and reconnected. I work from home now, not like in the registered nurse like clinical role. So it's nice to connect with people, you know, as
Yeah.
close as you can get like this when you're not in person.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you
I
so
thought you were like in outer space, like
Yeah, she's in the void.
Well,
She's
at the
got
International Space Station, given the background.
Heather.
Okay, y'all, please don't laugh at me, but for some reason, the settings changed on my computer, so I can't figure out how to raise my hand like on the actual Zoom. So I'm gonna figure
Okay.
that out
It's
while we're
intimate
talking.
enough that we can go like that. So go for it.
Okay. Um, but first off, I just have to say that like Laura, Laura was there for me um, in a moment. I can't believe we're on the Zoom together. Like I'm just so floored. But I had like it still brings like some emotions up and tears to my eyes because I had the most mystical experience of my entire life, and she caught me and she stayed with me. Like it was really, really intense, and she took care of me. And like I don't know what I would have done without her because I was not. I was gone. Like, and so I just want to say thank you so much for seriously, I don't know what I would have done without you right there. So you played a huge important role in my whole experience, the most important experience I think I've ever experienced in meditation. But to the topic, this for me, just because we were talking about the retreat, this was the hardest landing I've ever had coming back into like 3D reality. And it was really, really, really challenging for me it's kind of hard to explain to people that have never been before, but this really hit me like it was really hard this time. And I think that my another version of myself, an older version of myself, even from a month, 2 months ago, would have really been agitated and frustrated and um, a lot of like really negative self-talk to myself because of how I couldn't really land smoothly back in, even in talking to people. It was just really, really hard this time. But I found myself just giving myself some grace and talking to myself in a different way. And I think that these meetings have really helped facilitate that understanding of not just how we speak to others, but how we also speak to ourselves and the critic that happens. And so because of that, I feel like I've been able to kind of stay in a better state of grace, if you will. So thank you.
I love that. I just had that download, personal grace, how we can all apply personal grace for each other. And then inevitably, it's what happens, guys. When you stop trashing the one out there, then you stop trashing the one here. You can't, it's like now when, when I hang out with those people or friends of mine that I love so much and they go balls to the wall about people, I don't judge them. I just know that when no one's in the room, they're going ham on themselves. So actually it births a lot of love and compassion, because and we love them and we accept them and we give them a little hint or we change the subject, but at the end, everyone is exactly who they should be too. So it's that beautiful balanced sweet spot. Oh, Sulai's coming on. It's a late comer, guys. Let's give her. Hi, Zulai. Don't worry, we're all just waiting for you. No one said one word.
Sorry, I'm late. Oh, there I am.
I'm kidding. Okay. We're just kind of going through our wins for the week. Anything that we want to share, We talked a little bit about the tonight is the end of the year of the snake. Tomorrow is the horde. We'll talk more about that later, but just sharing wins. If you want to go next or anybody wants to go.
I have a question for you.
Yes. Dime.
Please, can you explain? It's going, man. You said trusting. When you start trusting other people, you start trusting you. Is that what you said? Sorry, my English. Pardon me, guys.
No, no, no. When I said is what I said
I
was
mean, exactly. Can you explain a little bit
yeah,
more?
yeah, yeah. So when we stop, because people can do what they're gonna do, right? And you're gonna have your experience of like, oh, this guy's a jerk or he did that. But the more that we have that compassion, right? If somebody did something and we lower the narrative, meaning like, hey, he was probably having a bad day or he didn't see me or he's in a rush or she's in a rush or any of that. The more that you have compassion with them, the more that you're gonna start having compassion with you when you're late or you're in a rush or anything like that. So a great litmus test of how we treat ourselves is how we're viewing others. And in my experience, and this is what I really recommend everyone, and I do this in the book, it's like, listen, I even like if a telemarketer calls me and there's no one around and I hang up or whatever it is, and like I used to always have a knee-jerk reaction to be like, what an idiot. Or, and no one's in the room, so I can say that, right? Because I have no witnesses. But now I don't even do it. It's almost like I feel like a camera's on me and I'm like, okay, keep going with my day. So I feel like I'm in a constant state of alchemizing, right? And that's why in the book I say, like, be mindful of what you say about people, especially when they're not around because that's when we think we have that freedom to go off and we're just again cementing habits that are we end up applying to ourselves, which is judging people and whatnot, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does.
yeah,
Also, can I tell you something
yeah.
that in the conversation you told me about my friend? Remember at the gym that every time you see him, you say hi to him, and he doesn't say hi back to you. I told him that, and I said, like this guy feels like you don't want to say hi to him, or you don't want to acknowledge him. And he's like, no, man, I'm like that. I'm shy like that, and that's what you said. He's shy. Remember?
I
So
told you. Okay,
yeah,
so let's give context to the group because they're gonna be like, what? So I see Adrian every morning at the gym usually, and he's always with this guy that just like doesn't say hi to me. I've said hi to him. He'll say hi to me and like run and my knee-jerk reaction was like, oh man, and he looks the part. He looks like a tough guy that you think like, oh man, this guy is just a jerk. But really quickly in that dynamic, I was telling Adriana, I'm like, like your friend, for example, he never says hi to me. I say hi to him, but you know what? I'm not gonna choose to think he's a jerk. He's probably shy. And when people get shy, they ignore you and they do that. And then that's the story that he was explaining right now. But I made it a choice for me to choose the narrative that works for me without even really having that opportunity to sit down with this guy. Does that make sense? So it doesn't matter. Like you all have the power to choose whatever narrative you want, or you have access to. Does that make sense?
I
Yeah.
like it. I started doing that recently because I always was. You said something about the New York reaction, and I
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
had a reaction. And I read out. I don't know where I read it, but I'm like, I'm gonna
Under the sink.
rephrase what I tell myself. He's shy. He's having a bad day. It's not personal, like so. And I live better, way better after that. So I think it has to do with what you're saying. My opinion.
Mhm. You get your power back. You get your
Absolutely.
emotional
Really hard to
autonomy,
do.
and emotional autonomy is gold because then you're not dependent on people saying nice things or saying I'm sorry or saying this for you to be good. And it's not like you're desensitized or you're cold. It's just like it really is unconditional love in a way, especially unconditional love to them, but then unconditional love to you. So good job.
Help me live to live better. Here in Miami.
Run.
Yes. So
Be
Heather,
brilliant, be brave, be gone.
like, say what I say and just disconnect.
No,
Wow.
just be brilliant.
Okay. Be gone. Okay. Heather said something about how you speak to yourself, which really struck me in that I think the shut the fuck up method is not an external thing. It's also an internal thing. It's how you speak to yourself. Um, because I want to parallel this to, I'm not sure who it was that posted the water video that's on
Oh yeah,
Instagram.
it was
Was that
Manolo. That
you?
one. No, it was Manolo. I think it was Manolo. Yeah. Did anybody here who posted the
Yeah.
what? Nobody. Yeah, it was. I think it was
Did
Manolo.
anyone watch that video? Did everyone watch it? You watched it? Okay, so basically it's a video about how there's supposedly this Japanese scientist who did this study of people speaking with anger towards bottles of water
Hmm.
and people speaking with love and affection towards other bottles of water. And then he froze it. And when the scientist froze the water that was spoken to by the two different test groups, the bottles of water that were spoken to with anger froze in this very random molecular kind of model. The bottles that were frozen by people who spoke affectionately formed these beautiful ice crystals or snowflakes.
Yeah.
Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah.
Right. So to get back to the parallel, speaking to yourself, I would say the one thing this week that I've realized is how I speak to myself, and we all speak to ourselves. I'll never forget when my daughter was, age 5 or 6. I'd be in the kitchen and I'd be cooking dinner and I would talk to myself while I'm making dinner and my daughter would be like, "Dad, who are you talking to?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm talking to myself." And she'd be like, "Why are you doing that?" I'm like, "Well, it's just what you do when you get older." It just happens. But it really does matter how you do talk to yourself in the same manner that it matters how you talk to other people, because to go back to the water video, I think that creates some sort of molecular structure in yourself of how you're going to be every day. In my own personal life, the reason why this came up this week is because there were some triggers this week in my daily living that just create a lot of anger in me. And it makes me speak in an angry way. And I thought of that video about what it's doing to myself.
Yeah.
Um, and it's that anger that then makes me maybe speak angry at another person, wherever. And so I guess what I want to just
It's 4:30.
You wanted to say it's 4:30.
no, what I want to say is that I think the methodology that you have created, Jorge, is also about how you talk to yourself, not about other people.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And you know, and once you go deep into the whole thing, guys, there's really no one out there. So it's like I have a story of Ron, you know, his parents have a story of him, his daughter, his best friend, his third grade teacher. So which one of us is right? You know, we see in Ron what we have in us. So um, there's no one out there really. It's just we're just my mentor Baron Katie used to say, no two humans have ever met. It's just my story of you meeting your story of me. So at the end, it's like we're just identifying with the things that we have in us that we see in other people, you know. And by the way, that's not to, you know, there are laws and there are things, but it's such good news, right? It's such good news that we get to control how we feel about people. And that doesn't mean that we don't close the door, right? But we get to control how we see other people, and then ultimately we get to control how we see ourselves. So for example, like now I'm working with my new social media team, and they, you know, and I have beliefs about how I am with technology, and I'm like, dude, don't do, and I'm about to say like I'm really bad with technology, and I'm like, you know what? I'm looking forward to learning stuff. You know, and it's like you play with whatever narrative you have, and that doesn't mean you police every single word, but just you know, now I'm sure you guys are experiencing, you're becoming so much more aware of the things that you don't want to declare about yourself. If
Right.
that
Well, and I want to add, I mean, the things that have led me into what I call my sleep depression, where I sleep for days. And it happens when you're self-employed. I think we have a handful of self-employed people here. You know, you you work for yourself. So there's days where I can just sleep for days if I want, which is not good, especially when you're doing it out of depression. But it's primarily because of how I'm talking to myself. That's what I'm focusing on. And knowing that the way I talk to myself, to go back to that video of speaking angry, since our bodies are composed 75% of water, that was the parallel.
Oh,
The
right.
body's composed of 75% water. So imagine what you're doing to yourself with speaking to yourself in an angry way.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Thank you for that. Thank you, Roxy.
I was going to say one of the things that you taught me that I put a twist on, and I think I used to do it, but now I do it with intention, is when people are talking about someone, I try to pretend the person's in the room.
Yeah.
So boy, does our conversation change if the person's in the room,
Yeah,
you know? So
exactly.
it's like, would I talk that way if the person was sitting there? No way. So we just don't talk about them.
Yeah.
There's no point. If you can't say it to their face, you certainly shouldn't be saying it behind their back, is my opinion.
Yeah.
And then the second thing was on the water, building on that one, which is a great, great scientific analogy. They've done studies whereby if you're pregnant and you're nervous or you're anxious, that gets transferred to the baby. You don't have to have the baby come out and say, oh, I'm so nervous and so anxious. The baby knows. So to your point, it's best for us to make sure we clean our house inside, our hearts and our souls, so that our baby or whoever, whether it's our 90-year-old grandma or a baby that's going to be born tomorrow, gets the benefit of, fresh, clean love.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
know,
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. All right. Anybody else wants to share a win, some thoughts about the topic, or we could keep moving ahead? Zulay, estás callada. Okay. Okay. So I kind of wanted to tailor the session tonight to the ending of the year of the snake, right? Is everyone pretty familiar with the Chinese calendar year? How tonight we're ending the year of the snake. And then tomorrow we're heading into the year of the horse. Um, so I don't know who's an air sign in here. I mean, Libra, Geminis. I'm a Libra. Today was some shedding I had to do. Let's just say it that way. And it's amazing because that's why I got inspired when we were doing the little meditations, Ulay. I talked a little bit about, like, and I put it on the chat, right? Like, if you can after the call, it's not mandatory, it's a recommendation. Just write down a few things that you want to let go of that are no longer working for you in your life. And that's all. Just a few things that you don't have to light up, you don't have to light it on fire like I did earlier. But if you're in a fire safe zone, why not, right? Like a little ritual where you get to just really let go of things that you don't want. And today I wrote a bunch and I got really emotional. One of the things that came up for me is like I've always been an agent my whole life, so Ron, he gets it. So I've always been just like forcing, and I don't want to force anymore. I don't want to force anymore. And like, I started thinking like maybe I don't have to wear the shut the fuck up t-shirt that much. Maybe just give it a little break. And it really just like cause what is the action behind forcing, for example, right? If I'm forcing something, that means that I don't have faith that it's gonna pan out. So I feel that I'm carrying it all by myself. So that's one of the behaviors that I'm purposely shedding from this year, right? Forcing things, feeling like I don't trust, feeling like any kind of depleting thoughts, any kind of, obviously negative self-talk. I mean, think about what skin you guys can shed, so you can start the year really, really up and running with the horse. So the shedding of the skin, what are you still talking about that you need to shut up about? What complaints did you repeat all last year? What identity are you still narrating that no longer serves you? And were you energetically keeping the snake skin alive through your words, right? I mean, it's great to, determination of the skin as we're shedding it, but how are we keeping old systems and stories alive? You're right. And so, what I would love for you is to identify one story that you will officially stop speaking about, and I want you not to process it, and yet don't keep rehashing it. Okay. So, if you guys want to share one thing that you officially want to stop speaking about, you can do it in person or you can do it on the chat, or I want you guys to start thinking about it. Okay. Awesome. Awesome.
That's a hard one.
That's a hard one.
That's a hard one.
Yeah. I share mine, right? Like forcing, negative self-talk, any of that stuff, right? Um, and then, and as we move into the horse, right? Then we're talking about the horse just doesn't gossip. It just moves. Okay. I want you to start thinking about this horse like there's momentum versus narration. The snake's coil and the horse's run. So this is a big beginning for you guys. Okay. Um, and as we're thinking about the word coil, right? Where did you stay in analysis paralysis, over talking, over processing, right? And you can now replace it instead of just talking about something, taking action, right? So, what would that version of the horse do this week in all your lives, right? Is anybody really into the whole Chinese calendar thing? Is this that theme? Like, did anyone feel like that today was kind of like it was a day of shedding? Like, believe it or not, I didn't even register the whole Chinese year until I had like all this stuff happen today, and I was like, oh wow, today felt like just like a new beginning day. Did anyone have that kind of feeling? Like
Well,
something?
I'm having it now. That's why I think we're here, is we shed when we're here.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
hopefully after we're done, we run.
exactly.
Right.
So, anybody want to share how if they had kind of that feeling about today was a completion? Heather?
It's funny the timing of this because I'm not really big into Chinese astrology or the timelines or anything like that, so I don't really know much about that. But um, I have traditionally in my past always been the yes person. like, oh, can you do this? Yes, I can. Can you do this? Yes, I can. I have always, it's very rare that I say no. And but what follows from most of my yeses is a bitching and complaining about saying yes.
After you say that yes, you complain, you're saying.
Like either to myself or to my husband, like, oh my God, now I've got to do this and I've got to do this and I've got to do this. And today, earlier today, in my meditation, actually, I was changing a box and going from that version of myself into a more discerning version of myself. And like not saying yes to everything, but kindly, kindly saying no, and therefore opening up gray matter so that I'm not sitting around like a frazzled person because when I'm frazzled, I get vocal about being frazzled.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that anymore. And so that was a lot of my morning meditation.
Yeah.
I have a question, Heather. Are you saying that you are always trying to please people, so you make yourself predisposed to other people's requests and wishes, and then you get frazzled by it? Is that what you're saying?
From a business perspective, yes.
Okay.
As a business owner, I don't ever like to say no. And I'm trying to change that because it's causing me a lot of unnecessary stress. And it has for a long time, just kind of like building and building and building. And I realized this morning before my meditation that what follows after all of the yeses, like why do I say yes so much? I can analyze that another day. But the need to stop it, like, and me be more discerning with my response of yes or no, and kindly rejecting, and that's okay. And then telling myself that's okay, because what follows from all the yeses, I shouldn't say all of them, but a good amount of them, where I should probably say no because it's a time thing. Um, is me being frazzled. And when I'm frazzled, I'm vocal about being frazzled. And it's like, well, I have control of that.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's okay to respectfully decline a pop-up or as a business owner, you wear a bunch of hats. So it's like, well, do I have to wear that hat all the time? That one particular yes hat? I don't.
Yeah, and how powerful, like, because a no to someone else is a yes to you, you know? And it's like, and if you put yourself first, then we're gonna get the best of you always. And that's what we want, right? Because if you're not setting up those boundaries, especially a lot of you that have like new businesses and new ventures that you're taking on, right? And I mean, we're always kind of balancing that out, that habit that we have to of putting others in front of us and then depleting our tank in our way, you know? Zulai, for example, who just started her brand new company in like less than 2 months. Like right now, I know that there's so many things. How are you doing with the whole like juggling of it all? Since you've
Yeah, I
been,
mean, I totally relate to what she said because today I had another new prospective client, and she's someone that I know, and she wants to engage me on, for private coaching, and I do organizational coaching and consulting. I don't do one-on, and I do one-on-ones as part of my organization consulting framework. But the point is, because I keep saying yes, I was like, not a problem. I want to help you. I'm going to make this work. I'll send you a proposal. You're going to be my only client. That's an individual client. And then I hung up and I was like, oh, should have not said yes to that. Or at the very least, should have pushed that engagement a little bit further when I get kind of my head back up. So yeah, I can totally relate with what she's saying. As a business owner and as a new business owner, obviously, there's inside of me, I always want to please everyone, and I want to build, a reputation for my new company. And so for me, sometimes I feel like I need to say yes to every opportunity that presents itself. But obviously, that's just stretching me thin. And then I kind of regret and just like what Heather was saying, then that reflects in my work because I am not completely giving my 100% to my clients, and they sense my, my frazzleness, or whether I'm a little stressed because I have to jump to the next call and I have back-to-back engagements. So yeah, totally need to shed that.
Yeah, so that could be on your list.
That would be, yep, I wrote it down.
Okay. And then, yeah, start thinking about, yeah, the things that you want to let go of. Lena, tell us about I had sent Lena on a special assignment this weekend, which I'm sure, it could also create a lot of value for this group. Tell us what happened.
Yes. So, Jorge inspired me to recognize and honor my inner child. So I would say part of the looping back to the last question about um, things we want to shed, big wins, things like that. I had a win this week in terms of being kinder and gentler to myself, recognizing my inner child. And part of that looked like me trudging through 3 feet of snow to access a playground and jumping on a swing set and going down a slide. So it was pretty cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So you didn't do the candy store one, you did the slide. All right, this is good.
I did the slide, but the swing was the most fun. I liked that. And yeah, I think this week I just have been giving myself a lot of grace and being gentler with myself and allowing myself to take a break, relax, read, all things that are usually put on the back burner for me because I'm busy working or taking care of tasks or things. As we get caught up, we forget how to, um, I guess, be in touch with the inner child and kind to ourselves and a little more carefree.
Yeah, and we were unpacking that because obviously Lena wrote a children's book. And we were just kind of like, wait, there has to be a reason why, you wanted to really create something that broke from your regular structure of a life into a beautiful story that's deep, that's powerful, but also has like all that innocence. And then we just kind of were like, all right, well, you're gonna do something to take care of the inner child. I've been thinking a lot about the inner child, right? Because I mean, this isn't gonna go too deep into the inner child, but just consider that, that we're all always going to be dealing with that at some point, right? Like feelings of rejections, like whether it is work-wise or personal-wise, can make us feel, I don't know if you guys get that feeling, but it happened to me last week. I was feeling like a little boy where I was like, I can't get any more no's, and it was like a little boy that was like enough, and it's so important to kind of have that grace, that personal grace again with ourselves, and treat yourself as if you were a child with that, well, kind of patience and love and empathy for sure. So thank you for that. All right. Anybody else want to share what kind of stuff they want to share for the big old year of the snake? Or not, or not. I'm just gonna start picking on it. Suzanne, you haven't said one word today. Come on.
Just kidding. Hold on, I have to unmute myself. Am I unmuted?
No, yeah,
Yeah.
you're unmuted.
Okay.
You were ready to talk. That's why I picked on you.
I think that I would probably want to shed self-criticism, and also just trying to be happy where I am. I'm happy in most places except for where I live. I have a hard time where I live.
Mhm.
Kind of funny. I love my home, I love my husband, but I have a hard time with the town around. And I just don't even want to say that. But I'm going to say that's what I want to let go of, right? So I'm
Yeah.
trying not to say that anymore. So I'm just going to, yeah, I'm going to shut that.
Yeah. And kind of like, because it's not about denial, right? Or surprise, and you feel what you feel, but it's like, how can, in your own way about your town, lower that narrative about it, you know?
Yeah, just keep on flipping it. Just see the good things and wake up saying, today is a wonderful day. And I wonder what magic I'm going to see or beauty I'm going to see, things
Yeah.
like that. I just keep doing that.
Yeah. And especially like let's be willing to be wrong about the things that we don't like,
Hmm.
about the people that we don't like, about anything. Like I've told you guys already. I love Heather keeps popping up, popping in, and then in my screen she pops in there, she pops here. But now you're there. I like you. I'll keep letting you in, girl. Not a problem. So I know I've shared this with you guys before. Like when I meet somebody that I don't like, the first thing I say to myself is like, I'm gonna be so wrong about you, you know? And I'm gonna find like some, even if it's a fictional reason of why we had an encounter that didn't really go that well, right? And that could extrapolate to where we live. And I love using the example of the skiing. Like we have to lean into our environment. That's like literally that's the trick to life. It's like, I live in Miami, right? And in the summer, if I have to see another person go, okay, like I get it, it's hot.
Robert.
But people still do it. I'm in my car and I see them all on the street going, like, but what happens when you keep noticing that heat, right? Then it just starts to get bigger and bigger because where we put our attention energy grows, right? But I swear to God, I moved to Miami back one year, last year after 20 years, and I found myself in a taxi and the AC wasn't working. And I just like surrendered. I was like, you know what? I'm in the Bahamas. I'm on vacation. Like this is it. And I kid you not, like a breeze came into the car. And that's
Right.
what life is. Like anything that's like a level 9, 10 can go down to a level 1, 2. So how can you take that into, your view and your perception, your experience of where you live and start like thinking like, okay, you know what, this isn't like New York or whatever your ideal place is, but like it has good weather. It's got a nice store. It's got people that I love. My husband likes it here. So how can we start literally like stacking up all the good things about it? So then our attention starts to go there and then everything starts to like, then all of a sudden you'll find more things. The brain is just one big scanning machine, right? So it's just scanning for things to scan. Give it good things to scan, so it starts to scan more of those. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would just want to add, Suzanne, I mean, you seem like a really happy woman and, uh, you know, uh,
She doesn't look like a serial killer. I agree.
you, you
No
seem
one's
like
getting beat up in that house.
I would say of everyone on this group chat, you are probably what I would vote as the most happiest, which is great. That's just a random thought, but
Well,
I
you're
just feel
kind of
like
random, so it's perfect.
right. But you're obviously living where you live for very good reason. Okay, that's known. And so wherever you live, I mean, you seem like the type of person that you'd be able to find the beauty there. There's got to be beauty around you wherever you live.
Oh, yeah. No, I do. I do.
Okay.
I do.
All right.
Yeah.
I need to get better.
Well, good. See, because Suzanne's probably like pain threshold is like a pebble because she's done all the work. So she's probably like, I just want to take this little pebble out, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's very
Well,
nice. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
all
Really
right, all
do.
right. Heather.
Thank you.
Suzanne, I just wanted to say like what you just said
Suzanne's like, oh
resonated.
God, we're back.
No, no, no. I
Suzanne
just
was
wanted
like,
to.
wait, Heather, you didn't catch her drift that she was like, thank you. This was really great. Suzanne, you messed up. You should have just done mute and then that would have been your peace out.
From now on, it's all about Suzanne.
But
Everyone,
now
talk about
Heather, then
Suzanne.
Laura's gonna go, Melissa's gonna
No, it's
go,
okay. It's good.
everyone's gonna
No,
give
it's
them.
good.
Well,
This is right.
I just want to say, like, what you said really resonated with me because, in a maybe slightly different way, but we had to sell our house a few years ago. Well, let's see, 2.5 years ago, and we moved into the house that we're currently in. And the house that we were in before, it was a beautiful house. It was a great neighborhood. It was all the things, blah, blah, blah. And then we moved to another side of town. And for the first 2 years, just was like stuck in this. I wish I was in my old house. And I miss my old house and I miss my old neighborhood and I miss my old neighbors and blah, blah, blah. And I realized like what a toll that was taking on me. And so, and I wasn't seeing like what was around me. And it's not, from an aesthetic point of view, it's not nearly as nice and it's not as nice of a neighborhood or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I started waking up and just saying, like, okay, what is it around me that is, just that I can notice? And, I have a
Yeah.
I didn't notice for 2 years that I had a family of cardinals living in the tree of the front of my house, and I get to see these cardinals every morning. And then from there, I started to notice other things, and it's just funny because I totally get where you're coming from. I know what you mean, and to your point, Jorge, when I started to reframe that, it was like it just changed. It just changed everything, and that was I think my first realization of that anything can be reframed, I guess.
Yeah, the
So
power that we have. Gotta stop
Yeah.
leaving money on the table. All right. Thank you for that.
Thank
Laura?
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Laura, what do you think about this whole Suzanne situation? No, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Oh, I was going to compliment Suzanne, actually. No, just kidding. No, but I can definitely resonate. I do have something that I want to talk about shedding, but really quick, I definitely can resonate because I am going through a move right now I'm from San Diego, but I've been living in Puerto Rico the last 2 years and have just absolutely fallen in love with it. But due to some my dad's dementia, I'm moving back to San Diego, and of course it's like, I can't complain, it's San Diego, but I'm really sad to leave Puerto Rico. So I'm trying to just,
For
send positive.
Bad Bunny's
And
performance and you're leaving.
yes,
Wow.
I know.
Crazy.
But I'm trying to just, maintain a good, positive attitude and everything that goes along with that. But anyways, as far as my shedding, I feel like well, I don't really know too much about with the Chinese. Is it just exactly 1 year that it's been the year of the snake? The
Yeah.
past
It
year
should be a
since
year.
last February? Okay. So
Mhm.
maybe this has been more than a year that I've been wanting to shed, but letting go of like fear of public speaking because I'm trying to put myself out there more in terms of like speaking at nursing conferences. And I actually spoke at the beginning of January at a self-love summit about heart math, and there was a really strong connection to Puerto Rico because we set a world record for the Global Consciousness Project. Um, but what I really want to shed is just that like mindset of having like the fear or anxiety of public speaking. And so I don't really usually do like I know people for New Year's resolutions, they'll choose like a word of the year, and I um don't usually do that, but this year my word that came to me was shine. So it kind of relates to that in both regards. So shedding and letting go of the, fear of public speaking and anxiety. And I guess the year of the horse would be to shine. So that's what
Yeah,
I'm gonna
for sure.
head and let go
Sure.
of.
Yeah, and you know what? The fear of public, it's you've never heard that that's actually a study that people are more scared of public speaking than death.
I've heard
So they
that.
would rather
Yeah.
be dead than talk at their own eulogy. So And it's such a primal public speaking is so primal, like it's wired to leaving the herd when it would mean death. So when we stand alone, it's the body goes into full metal survival. So
It's
I mean,
5 o'clock.
thank you, Ron's lady friend. So so it's never gonna, I mean, consider that adrenaline is actually what gives you that oomph in your talks. And that's it's never gonna feel relaxing. I don't think it'll ever, but you just get so used to it, and your mind remembers that you've done this so many times. So but yeah, I just kind of want to share that in that it's never gonna you're never gonna get sleepy up on stage doing a public talk. That I guarantee you right now. Um
True.
Melissa, how are you? And mute. Get it.
I'm good, thanks. I'm about to say I have to go, but I thank you everybody for sharing.
Nah,
Um,
good.
that's
Anything you want to speak into existence that you're shedding?
um not at this time, but
Okay. Keep it, have it in,
but
have it in your head.
there's a few things that's gotten me thinking, and yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here and creating space.
Thank you. Thank you. Have
Have
a
a
good week. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. So a little bit more that I want to tell you about, the connection between the year of the snake and the horse and the STFU method. We're going from survival, snake, to sovereignty, right? The horse. Regulating the nervous system, the snake represents survival, the horse represents a regulated power. Um, so just in thinking, right? Like, what were the key things that you were in fight or flight mostly last year about in comparison to this year, right? Or what do you want to not be in fight or flight that much anymore as we're starting the new year? And how did stress also shape your decisions and how you're looking into it not happening this year? And obviously, I don't know what's going on with our daily practice. I would love to hear how you guys are doing with that. Um, I know some of you are more into journaling than meditation. But I'm telling you, you cannot just get up from your bed and start your day. You have to do something. Because what happens is the more that you take that moment to, that Ron moment, that Adrian moment, that Zulay moment to be like, no, even if it's 5 minutes, I'm gonna take this on. You're gonna start relating to yourself as that person that looks after you first. And you're gonna start walking a little taller and you're gonna start relating to people in a more calmer way. And it just changes how you think about yourself, right? So Lena has been doing really, really well. I have her on a meditation challenge. And so now, how long has it been now? It's almost going to be a month, no?
I think it's like I think we're in 17 or 18 days.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Any specific things that you feel that are here now that were not there prior to the challenge?
Yeah, I think in general, I feel very good about myself. I think taking the time to love myself is super important because, as you said, we get swept away with our days when we start them. And I just feel more at peace, more at ease in my day. Um, as I think I said, sometimes I do a short meditation anywhere from 15 minutes. Sometimes I'll do an hour plus. Just depends what I have going on that day. But it's really made me put myself first, and it's really made just all the difference in my, especially at work, just feel a lot calmer. I take things in stride better, I'm less reactionary. Um, Feeling better about time. Time is a big thing that I want to, the narrative that I don't have enough time, I'm going to be shedding that this year.
That's a good one.
So yeah, yeah, thank you for pushing me to do that. It wasn't a hard push, but it's been good.
Yeah, no, thank you for following through. Everyone here kind of has some sort of morning practice, right? Does anyone not?
I don't.
You don't? Okay. Why?
topic.
was gonna ask more about it, and maybe you have a few examples. For example, I think I heard meditating journalism, right?
Yeah, yeah. Listen, I recommend, and I'll send you at least like a 5 minute guided one. Like I have my go-to ones that I use. Just the idea is like, look, you wake up in the morning, your brain sent data. You're like a sponge that's absorbing everything, right? You're like 1 foot into like dream world, 1 foot into back to like being awake. That's the time where you want to take on just information that's going to create what your day is going to be like. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the more that you take that, and I get it, like we even even to meditate, we have to grab our phones, right? So it's like, and I'm not gonna lie, once in a while I'll do a quick Insta scroll, and then I'm like, and then I'll go into my thing. But it's just it really makes such a difference on how your day goes, how you feel during your day. So I'll send you a couple of options. I choose meditation, but I think journaling could be just as powerful where you put just mind on paper and you kind of mind dump, so you get it off your head. Do any of you choose more journaling over meditation, or I know Zulay does. She's more of a journaling person. But journaling could also be very meditative too, right? Tracy, how are you?
Oh, sorry.
I bet,
Um,
yeah.
I'm doing okay. Last couple of days have been really hard as far as just feeling heavy. I think it's a lot of this shedding, so to speak, and
Yeah.
my dad's recent passing, and a lot of reflection on my life with him. Um, how does that look going forward? Um, and just trying to be in it, but yet not let it overwhelm me.
Yeah.
And I'm in a position where um, everyone in the family is reaching out. Oh,
What
am
happened?
I there?
Yeah, yeah, you're here.
Okay, well, I don't know what someone just called through, and now I can't see you guys.
Oh no. Well, we can see you.
Okay. How do I go back to seeing you guys? Maybe here. Um, okay. Anyway, um, so just being the one that everyone is looking to for support and guidance is a lot.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm just trying to manage that right now and setting some boundaries with, being calm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe if I click down here, there you guys are. Okay. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, it, I had gone to Paris for the month of January to do my sense of like an eat, pray, love. The funny part about that is I've never seen the movie, just kind of what I thought it would be about. And I ended up downloading it on Prime. I was going to watch it on the flight over there, and I couldn't get it to work. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm not supposed to watch it for whatever reason. Um, and just kind of just go with the flow. And I was really excited about having a reset and a clearing and, how I wanted to see 2026 to go for me personally. Is the last, I don't know, probably I should say my whole life, honestly. Um, I'm being pulled in different directions and not focusing on myself. And then I get to a point where then I'm resentful, but I've allowed it because I can be in control. Um, and that's where the boundaries come in. And anyway, all that was going well. And then my dad unexpectedly passed. Um, sorry. Um, so it's just reflecting on life and things and just trying to, just stay positive. Um, because I know it's all good. I wake up every morning, um, saying, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. Because you have that initial few seconds where you're not thinking about what's the reality is, I guess. And then the reality hits. Um, And so my thing has been, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. And then I think about things that I'm grateful for, which I have so many things to be grateful for. So, yeah, and then it's okay to be sad right now. It's still new. Just giving myself some grace and that because this happened doesn't mean my life has to be derailed. My dad wouldn't want that. What I did in Paris doesn't have to be lost. Um, and that I am strong and I will get through it. And I've, it's the life lessons I've had right up until being now 55 that are going to help me through it. And I just feel like letting it flow is probably going to be what gets me through. Not over analyzing, not being in fear, um, and that this is part of life. Death, unfortunately, is part of life. Um, so this is the first, like the biggest loss of my life, I should say.
Yeah.
So I'm lucky that I'm 55 and that I've gone this long. Really, I've lost people, but not somebody so that I'm tethered to, right? So going through that too, the detethering, I guess, the detachment in a way that you're not just you're not respecting that person who's passed, but it's just it's time to your life now looks different. Um and that's the reality, but it doesn't have to be negative. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at.
No, thank you for sharing that. That's so beautiful. And obviously, I've been there, and some of us have been there, and we're all gonna be there. And it's interesting to think about it. We're all gonna be there if we're lucky, right? Because we don't want to go before our parents because then that would be too painful for them, right?
Right, right.
So this is the way that is, in a way that the least painful, but it doesn't take away um, the pain and we can't lobotomize it, nor shall we, and we can't bypass it either. So I think it's such a fragile and powerful time, and you just have to trust that it'll just keep getting lighter and lighter, and some days are gonna be more okay, and some days are gonna be like, what the heck? And then you're gonna be
Yeah,
like, I thought I was already over. No, I still I have these, yeah, it's not linear at all. You just have to, I think the best bet is just surrendering to it, surrendering to the
hmm,
moment on how you're feeling and just be like, okay, I'm not okay, and that's okay that I'm not okay,
yeah,
and giving yourself that personal grace and maybe the only thing to shed is you thinking that you should be different, right?
right.
That you should be any other way in the middle of what you're going through. So um, thank you so much for sharing that and bringing that to us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maritza?
Yeah, so I just wanted to share with Tracy that uh, I lost my mom May 1st of last year, and she was my everything, my dad, my mom, uh, my champion, just everything in my life. And at that time, I did have my wife still, so it was comforting to have that support. Uh, and then when 5 months into my mom's passing, she asks me for a divorce. Then my life really went upside down, and I went into the the real grieving process of, wow, like feeling everything. Because up until that point, my wife was giving me strength. We were so busy with stuff that was going on that I was just like, it was like being on a roller coaster going 147 miles an hour. And once everything stopped, I had to go through the grieving process and feel all the good, the bad, and the ugly in order to be able to grieve my mother, my divorce, And now this new existence of no longer having that one person that gave me unconditional love. And I remember going to my therapist and and I would tell her, every time I see my mom's picture, it makes me cry. And she said, well, you need to stop looking at your mom and having that emotion come up. You need to, when you see a picture of her, think of all the time that you had with her and think of all the good memories that you had with her. And once I was able to apply that, I would walk around and I no longer got teary-eyed. I'd remember that moment where we were, where I would just look at her and go, wow, I had you for 90 years. And we had a great relationship. And all positive thoughts would come as opposed to, you're not here. I'm left alone. I don't have any siblings. I have to now carry this burden by myself. And and no one's going to feel your loss like me because it's just me. So and like you said, George, just surrendering and letting yourself feel it. If you want to cry, cry. And then we honor them by the way I do it is I talk to my mom all the time. And that's how I keep her now in this new light, in a new way of learning to love her alive in my life. And, I don't care what people think. I'm just, all of a sudden, I'm just talking. I'm like, yeah, mom, I need your strength. I need your wisdom. And I'm saying it out loud. And it really is a comforting, tool for me. So I hope that
Yeah.
helps you, Tracy, a little bit.
I have my dad is my screensaver, and it's funny because people are like, oh gosh, like that seem like that's a lot? Because every time I look at my phone, which is often every day, I'm seeing my dad, and it's like, is it too soon to be looking at him like 25, 35 times a day? Um, but because my siblings were like, whoa, like, that's a lot. But for me, it's bringing me some peace. And I have been talking to him, and he has been showing me signs, which I had to in turn stop also sharing with my siblings because I was realizing they weren't seeing the signs and getting the signs like I am. And so I don't want that to be awkward, for anyone, and realizing that that's between him and I, and that's sacred between us. It's not something I need to share. It's kind of like not talking to somebody behind their back, sort of like I made the same idea. It's kind of like that's our thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. And my kids are really struggling with it. And I realized as well that, they need me to be mom, strong mom. I broke down on a conversation with my daughter last week, and she was like, "Well, mom, I can't do this right now. I was doing okay. I can't do this right now." And it made me realize, whoa, okay, we're all grieving and we're all trying to navigate it. And she was having a good day, and then it was like, oh gosh, the emotions of everything were too much for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
what age is your daughter?
she's 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I'm single mom. I'm not in a relationship. So to you, you feel really alone. He was my best friend and the person I talked to every day. And that was that person for me. So it's just an adjustment.
Yeah, it's powerful. It's just I always I think of how, the heart, remember the heart's a muscle, and muscles
Mhm.
when they break, they grow. So there's a growth that is also happening. So there's growing pains also
Right.
involved in this, and yeah, in the physicality, of course,
Mhm.
and our, I mean, there's so much under that bucket, right? Our own mortality, our
so many things
Yeah. Well,
flood
that's why
through.
he, and guys, and seriously, and that's another reason I'm telling you why. So I think like, Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this is like we got to have one foot in the 3D world, like in this action figure, Tracy action figure, and definitely one foot in the reality that we're all passing by. Like we're having this experience, this human experience, but in reality, we're this is an agreement. This is just a 7, 80, 90, 100 year experience that we're having. Or, I don't know if AI is going to make us live a lot longer, but like we're all just passing by, right? And I don't mean that, like, again, like we don't need to go tombstone shopping. But in a way, it's just like these. What if we can reframe these things to kind of like, okay, so they're gone and they just changed energy, but we're still here. Like, how are we gonna make these moments count? And it could look like just peace, or actually, whatever it looks like, it's perfect. But just to kind of have that in the back of our minds, like what you said earlier too, like what would he want you to be doing right now? You
Mhm.
know, how would he want you to be living?
He wouldn't want me crying and laying in bed and
Yeah.
woe is me. Absolutely not. In fact, one thing he did, we were all together for Christmas. I flew in my kids. Um, our last evening together was December 27th, and he passed January 27th, exactly 4 weeks later. But it was that night he looked at me and we were in the middle of playing games and things, and he just looked at me. I look back on this, right? And it was so purposeful the way he looked in my eyes and said, I wanted to make it to 76. I made it to 76. And my reaction was, oh, dad, knock it off. Like, I need you around a lot longer. You need to be around a lot longer. And because that was also our relationship was very, just funny and banter and not getting it down deep serious about things. He didn't take life seriously, really, which frustrated a lot of people. Was one thing I really, really loved about him that he's taught me. Um, but he had turned 76 on October 8th.
Mm.
So his
Oh,
soul knew and my soul knew.
October 6th.
You're October 6th?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Libra.
he was telling me he made it to his goal, right? He's tired. His soul knew. Mine knew, didn't want to accept it.
Yeah.
I went to Paris and then I wasn't there. Everybody else was able to be there. It all happened so fast. And um, he passed 3 hours before I could get on like the first flight out of Paris. So it just happened
It's
over
interesting.
several hours.
Obviously, it's interesting that you're in Paris, and you and I spoke when you were in Paris, and you kept saying that you didn't know why you were there.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
for some reason,
The other thing, right, to along those lines is so I was flying back on January 29th.
yeah.
He passed on January 27th, and it's at the evening of January 27th, like into the morning of 28th for Paris time. So it's like I look at this as I was very upset and angry at first that I couldn't be there. And then I thought, it's exactly how it was supposed to happen. He didn't ruin my trip. He waited to the very end, but he waited until I couldn't actually get there because he knew it'd be too hard for me to see him like that. Like my siblings have the visual of him. Even though they FaceTimed me and he was intubated when I was saying goodbye, I talked to him before he went in for this emergency surgery. Um, but I can't even tell you what he looked like in that FaceTime. It was like I protected myself.
Yeah. There's no mistake. There's no mistake. There's only perfect order.
Right. And you have to believe that, or
Yeah.
we can make ourselves crazy, right? The
Yeah.
what ifs,
So, so yeah, so I was gonna get into it. So the whole 3D, 5D thing, right? So the more that you do take on some sort of, again, with the morning practice, right? Whether it's the meditation or the journaling, guys, like you're almost connecting to that part of you that's not the Zulai or the Lena or the Suzanne action figure. You're connecting to that part of you that's where Laura is in the void, in that space. You're connecting yourself to the non-matter part of you. And I'm telling you, so what starts to happen is that the identity that the Tracy action figure stops like being so like full throttle, if that makes any sense. It loses the grip on Tracy just a little bit. And you start kind of, can we, and I talk about this in the book, right? Can we be fully integrated in this world, right? Like my action figure, Ron's action figure, Adrian's action figure, and yet know that we're not from it at the same time, and that we're literally just passing by. So then how do we react in life, right? When people pass away or friends go away or jobs, we don't get certain jobs or we're in traffic or you know what I mean? So the five senses essentially, right? Smell, touch, feel, taste, listening, like we're not doesn't have us by our throat anymore. Because yes, we can be superly immersed into this life, and yet at the same time there's a space that's really sacred that goes, wait a minute, this isn't, we're all just we're all just passing by. Does that make sense?
I think also it's we're passing by, but it's also a reminder to be present and enjoy what
Yes.
your day. Like my slogan is always with my family, and they tease me about it, but they now repeat it all the time. And it's the best day of my life until tomorrow. Like whatever that looks like, and it may be, you know, you find one good thing that happened that day and you focus on that. Um, what did happen good that day? I mean, even if something bad happened, well, it was the best day. I'm here. I'm alive. I can breathe. I can smell. I can touch. I can reach out to people. Um, and that's what I can do. And what is your legacy? What are people going to say about you when you do pass? And getting the responses from dad's friends and things, people I don't even know, that he was just a kind, loving, funny person, and his energy was great. And I do get that from him. I mean, I am blessed in the sense that I do have good energy,
Oh, big time. Yes.
and I'm aware of that. So I'm also aware that when I'm in a down place, that how that affects people, because it is strong. So self-awareness, self-gratitude, make it my best day until tomorrow. And I mean, we're lucky if we have tomorrow. And
Exactly.
again, not living in fear and all of that, but it's life. It's the 3D world we're living in.
Yep. It sure is. It sure is. As we're having like a few minutes before we complete tonight, I wanted to get some walkaways from you guys. What are you walking away with from this first time ever 90-minute session that I loved? It might be a repeat next week. So anything you guys want to share that you're walking away? We've had some really, really great experiences shared, and I'm so thank you, Tracy, and thank you everybody else that just added to this. And anybody want to share something they want to walk away with, or they're walking away with? Heather?
Yeah.
Oh,
Go on.
Heather, then Ron. And
Um, uh, Thank you. Yeah, I just want to say I'm walking away with a deep appreciation um for today and for tomorrow. And thank you for that, Tracy. Like a
thank
deep, deep appreciation for that. And I'm so grateful to you, Jorge, for allowing 90 minutes today. It was a beautiful, beautiful experience.
it was
Thank you.
nice. Thank you. And I needed it probably more than you guys. All right, let's keep it brilliant, be brave, be gone. Next, Laura, then Ron. Sorry, Ron, then Laura.
Basically, what I'm leaving with is the idea of my mortality not being a negative or pessimistic thing, but being an enriching thing that relates to an article you posted, Jorge, on LinkedIn regarding why are you obsessing about things you can't take with you?
Yeah.
Remember this?
Yeah.
And so I think everything that I've heard and even things that I've spoken about today is really focus on what you spend your time focusing on, how you talk to yourself,
It's 5:30.
what you let things,
What
you
time
know,
it is?
trigger you. Yes. So, and to understand, to go back to what, what was being said about the phrase passing by. I don't really relate to that phrase, but I get it. It
Yeah.
just really is how you're spending your time and day and what you're really focusing your energy on, because at the end of the day, your mentality does rule, and what are you going to take with you? So, yeah.
Thank you for that. Laura?
Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to Tracy just for sharing. I know I'm sure it's really, not easy, but I appreciate you sharing your experience. And as I think about moving back to San Diego to be there to help take care of my dad, and a lot of what you're saying, they sound like similar personalities. Something that my dad's been saying lately, like the last year or so, maybe, like when anyone asks him how he's doing, his response has never been better. And it's kind of like that same like mindset, like I'm alive, I'm here. Today's the best day of my life because, it's what I have. So just like that reminder of, the mindfulness and awareness and yeah, just the present moment. So we have, and I'm thankful for this extra 30 minutes. The 90-minute session was amazing. So thank you, everyone, and Jorge, and I'll look forward to seeing you all next week.
Thank you guys so much. You all have my heart. I so appreciate you. Have a great week. Write down what you're shedding. Tomorrow we step into a new year of the horse. Keep that momentum. I love
Zulay
you
wanted to
all,
speak.
and thank you so much.
Thank you, George.
See you next week. Bye.